Hey, it's Levi here, and in today's video, I'm going to be hanging up some acoustic paneling. So I've been slowly building out my home studio little by little over the years. It started out with some studio monitors and an audio interface. Then I customized the desk to bring the speakers up to ear level. And now I've got myself some acoustic panels. So I found these on Facebook Marketplace last weekend, and it was a set of 8 acoustic panels for 200 bucks. Each panel is roughly 2 feet by 4 feet, and they're all kind of between 2 and 3 inches thick. A lot of people ask if that's soundproofing, and no, it's not exactly soundproofing. It's more just a way to reduce echo, which changes how the room sounds. So I've cleared out a lot of the stuff from the room so I can do my measuring and my hanging and all of that good stuff without hitting guitars or having amps in the way, things like that. And to mount each of the panels, I'm using these professional picture hangers. Each of my panels is only about 10 to 12 pounds, so they're not very heavy. These have a 50-pound capacity, so that's plenty. It's more than enough. I considered hanging them with French cleats, but it turned out to be way more expensive than I'm willing to spend currently. All right, so here's a diagram of my studio room here. I've got kind of my desk up top here with my speakers. Then my listening position is going to be kind of like right in front of the desk, but I want to account for being able to sit a little bit back. Now where I'm going to place the panels is going to be kind of like this. I'm going to put 2 panels right next to each other right there. And I'm going to do the exact same thing over here as well. So I'm going to put these each on the left and right side of me. I'm gonna put 2 more of these attached to the corner. So 1 there and 1 on the opposite side. Now it's good practice to also put some acoustic treatment on your back wall, but I'm not gonna do that just because I don't have enough. So I've just got my side ones, my bass traps, and then I'm gonna have 2 that are up top right above me. So that way when I'm in my listening position, I'm not gonna have a ton of reflections and I should get a pretty good response from that spot. So I measured my ear height and then I basically added about 2 feet. My ear height is about 4 feet off the floor, and then the panels are 4 feet tall. So I just decided to go up 2 feet higher than that, and that should give me about 2 feet on each side of my ear for reflection reduction. All right, so I've got my trusty hammer. I'm gonna hang up this picture hanger here. So I'm gonna hang this right next to the other one, and there's not gonna be a gap, or there's not supposed to be a gap, so I get more coverage of a reflection-free zone where I'm sitting. It's like a little bit lower than I'd like it. I'm just gonna redo this one. That's about level with each other. I'm happy with that. So we're gonna do the same situation here, just a little worse. Now to hang these panels in the corners, I'm using 2 picture hangers, 1 on each side, and then just some simple mounting hardware so it has something to hang on. When you're hanging the corner panels, you want to be really accurate with your distance between the 2 hangers, so make sure to measure everything twice and test fit everything before you call it done. I ran into a little bit of trouble with this one, so I ended up having to go back and fix it. I've got most of this stuff up so far, but I have yet to put it on the ceiling, and it's actually a little bit more involved to put it on the ceiling than I initially thought. So basically I had to figure out where each of the studs were and then find the center point of the room and the center point of my acoustic panels. So that way I can place it right in the middle of the room, but also take advantage of the studs and use those as mounting points as well. I'm actually putting 2 panels together and attaching those to the studs. So that way we have a solid connection and it doesn't fall on my head. I got some wood from the hardware store and made some measurements of where I'm gonna cut them. Then I'm gonna head outside and cut them down to size with my circular saw. Now that we're done with that, I'm gonna take them inside and start screwing them to these boards. So that way we're hanging 1 unit rather than 2 separate ones. I'm pre-drilling all these holes as well so we don't have any splitting of the actual frame of our acoustic panels. Alright, the next thing I've got to do is to drill the holes in the ceiling where I'm going to hang the panels from. So I'm taking a stud finder and marking the spot and then drilling a hole. I hung little chains from these screws, and these are going to provide additional support from when I'm actually hanging the panels. I'm putting some mounting hardware on the clouds themselves, and I've got a total of 8 points of contact. The more points of contact we have, the less each point of contact is stressed, which is quite nice when you're hanging something like this. Because you can spread that 25 pounds across 8 different points, it makes each point only have to bear so much of that load. Now the first time that I did this, I actually put 8 different chains on the ceiling, and I foolishly used zip ties to secure the panel in place. However, I don't really recommend that. I don't think it's all that safe. What I do recommend is using hardware that's rated to bear a load. So the very next day I went back to the hardware store and I got some nice heavy duty hook screws and some quick links, and this stuff can bear a load of up to 400 pounds. So I'm super safe in hanging this 25-pound weight off of this hardware. So this is the room sound before treatment. Test 1, 2. And this is the room sound after treatment. Test 1, 2. Now that I'm done hanging the acoustic panels, I think it makes a huge and noticeable difference in the way the room sounds, the way my speakers are sounding, and the way my recordings are sounding, like with my voice right here, right now. So I would say I'm really happy with the acoustic panels that I've got here, and I would definitely recommend acoustically treating your space if you have the time and budget to do so if you're trying to record stuff frequently. I'm looking forward to recovering these into a lighter color because I realized I've got a lot of dark colors going on behind me here, and I would kind of like to lighten up the space and have it feel really kind of cozy in here. So that about wraps it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel, and I will see you on the next one. Check out this video here. Bye for now.